sleeping or something like that. So let's just have some minutes with together this night, and I believe that your day was okay. So we are going to spend just a little time here. This is later our broadcast, like I said. So we are going to go straight to the program. Please, before we move forward, don't forget to like the video. Okay, like the video, comment, tell us what you are watching this night, and we are going straight to the program as we have planned and we have come to do. Anyway, many people have seen what is going on, especially the activities of Biafran, government in exile, and Biafrans at large. The update we received this evening is that about 1 hour ago, that men went to Obinze, okay, and something happened there. I will not share with us the video because it have a lot of it is too colorful. So video that is too colorful is not allowed on YouTube. I hope you understand that. So I'm not going to share it with us, but maybe we can listen to the background, and maybe you can capture one or two things from that. Okay, is Umuze, not Obinze, Umuze. It is too colorful, to be honest. Okay, that is it. That is it. I intentionally allow it to play for some time so that you want, because I will not flip the camera for you to see what I'm saying. So, Karaka, that is your name. You are first person to comment in this program. You said hello, handsome. Okay, thank you for your compliment. Some people are not aware. We don't pay much attention about what Nigerian government is saying about their national anthem. So Tinubu have signed that into law, that they change. To be honest with you, I don't know the difference between the old one and the new one. But there's a video circulating online about Aisha Yusuf sitting down while they are singing their new national anthem. And let me see if it's what we can play here. So, these people believe that changing national anthem is the best thing to do. Look at, they are now saying, because people have signed that into law, and they are using that as their national anthem. All right. So Aisha Yusuf decided to sit down while they're singing that, and it become a problem because many of them are not happy with that. Those who claim they own everybody and all that. But that's not why we're here. I just want to share it as the kind of flash news. but not why we are here. Iwu Biafra, I see you, my dear. Thank you for your comment. You are the regular commentator you are first regular commentator in this broadcast. I think the other person is a new person and with the comment is totally offline from what we are discussing. Anyway, the issue is that many people have seen that who oppose Odemma, and some of them are actually the issue of Igbo people. They are the problem, and this is what what's the name of this guy in the name of this guy in Arise News. This guy, I forgot his name. Is it Rufai? I think it's Rufai or something like that. I think that's his name. So hear what he said. Just pay attention to hear what he said. I'm trying to get this done.
We forget that the marginalization complained about in the Civil War is still the marginalization happening today. For the Igbo man that says an Igbo presidency is not terrible, we should also remind him that his kingsmen died in the Civil War. And if he says his kingsmen that died...
Then I see you. Thank you for, Rufai.
Presidency. Then he's saying that those that died in the Civil War probably died in vain. Because we even forget the terms of the Civil War. We forget in a hurry. Anyway, how are we going to remember when we have a country where they don't teach history in school? We forget that the marginalization complained about in the Civil War is still the marginalization happening today. We forget that it has taken over 40 years to complete the second Niger Bridge. And these are the things the Igbo cry marginalization for. We forget that rail has been done in some other parts of the country, but no rail has been done in Igbo land. We forget that the Igbo people still complain of the debt of federal infrastructure. So if these people are complaining and they say Igbo presidency is the pathway for reassurance.
Adego, I see you. Adego, I see you. Thank you for your comments. And Chidimma, thank you guys. Adego said, "What is this? Oh yeah, talking. He's not saying something irrelevant. I think this guy. I find it difficult to pick one or two things against him. To be honest with you, only time that I had issue with him when he was talking down on PM. Not talking down, but kind of going against what SPM stands for. But that's a story for another day.
Says nothing for you, that you have to make peace with Nigeria. Then it speaks volumes of what the person said and who the person is. But you should remember that it is righteousness that exalts a nation. And perhaps be careful with the things they say to their own people just because of political benefits.
But this guy is a Muslim, but quoting Bible is, I think he's a Muslim. I'm not sure, but due to his name, I believe he's a Muslim. Maybe I'm wrong.
Igbo man that says an Igbo presidency is not terrible. We should also remind him that his kingsmen died in the Civil War. And if he says his kingsmen that died have no rights to presidency, then he's saying that those that died in the Civil War probably died in vain.
Okay. Also, he's talking about some Igbo people that are saying that going against Igbo's progress, and these are people that believe in one Nigeria. So they see Igbo president as something good for Igbo people, right? So he's kind of saying that some Igbo people that are against that kind of move is not they don't mean good for Igbo people, and they undermine the death of people that died during the Nigerian Civil War. The Peter and Bob of this world, and most of them that have one or two excuses. Although we'll still talk about Iwuanyanwu said something very, very interesting. In fact, his comment is what Iwuanyanwu comment is what I use in the on. You can see the title of the video, right? That is what he said. But we are going to react to that this tonight. Just give us a time so we can go through other things first before then.
Because we even forget the terms of the Civil War. We forget in a hurry. Anyway, how are we going to remember when we have a country where they don't teach history in school? We forget that the marginalization complained about in the Civil War is still the marginalization happening today. We forget that it has taken over 40 years to complete the second Niger Bridge. And these are the things the Igbo cry marginalization for. We forget that rail has been done in some other parts of the country, but no rail has been done in Igbo land.
Facts.
We forget that the Igbo people still complain of a debt of federal infrastructure.
Facts.
So if these people are complaining and they say Igbo presidency is the pathway for reassurance, and an Igbo man says nothing for you, that you have to make peace with Nigeria, then it speaks volumes of what the person said and who the person is. But you should remember that it is righteousness that exalts a nation. And Pajaj, be careful with the things they say to their own people just because of political benefits.
Okay, that is it from Rufai. And we are not here to talk about presidency. Okay, Chidema said he's a Christian. No, not a Christian. You mean he's not a Christian, but he's quoting Bible. Righteousness exalts the nation. That's the word of God. His father is a Muslim while he is a Christian, but his father accepts Christ in his dying bed. Okay, you really know him very, very well, and sometimes just like Apostle Suleiman, people that bears Muslim name but they are Christian. So sometimes it confused me. I don't know how I'm not used to that because as Igbo man, we don't have that kind of thing. We don't have that kind of thing, and it baffles me that people are bearing Muslim name and they are pastors, they are Christians. So I'm not used to that. That's why sometimes if I see that, I have to ask very, very well, is it possible? But since it's possible from that part of the world, why not? I cannot be the one to stop that. So before Iwuanyanwu begin to yap his own, you see, our people are very, very funny. Our people are very, very funny. Old man, I don't know what to use the word elder. He's an old man. But when they talk, you think that they don't have. You ask yourself if they have brain at all. He said that Mazi Kanu told him that it's not part of what is. He said even today, the Mazi Kanu, he can see Mazi Kanu every time. And the only thing that Mazi Kanu told him is about it at home and how he is not part of anything that is going on. Why are they even questioning Mazi Kanu if he's part of it? Don't they know that Mazi Kanu is in hand of enemy? Even if you want to be part of it, would they allow him to be part of it? Asking him, are you part of this when you know that he's in DSS is a kind of trying to give him problem. Because if you actually mean good, you will not go to Mazi Kanu and start asking him, are you part of sit at home? Do you support it? Are you this? Are you that? Just hold on, guys. I'm coming. Please give me a moment. Sorry. Okay, thank you, Adego. Thank you for that. Yes, I paused it because I went out to check something, but I'm back. So I don't know if most of you have seen this video. The volume is on. It's on. It's not none. Diana, thank you, guys. So you can see this. This is Fulani people. Okay, look at them. I just hold on. Let me see if the camera will capture it. Yeah, there we go. You can see this is somebody's farmland. Hmm? You can see, right? Look at it. For you to see the level of wickedness, this is what Fulani people are doing. And when you take action, oh, want to give problem to our people. Oh, you want to give problem. I don't know if this one is in Oduduwa land or in Biafran land. I don't know. I don't know where this one is, to be honest with you. I don't know at all. So, as you can see Fulani people. Just imagine this farmland that looks so nice. Somebody carry cow. Look at it. Look at the man that controlling the cow. He's even there watching them, watching. Look at it. So what is wickedness if not this? What is wickedness if not this? So that is it. That is it. When you hear people talking about Fulani people and the activities, these are people that some governors are pushing to give land. So giving them land, let me tell us what that giving them land will bring to us. If you give them land in the name of Ruga, they bear children like termites. They bear children like even dog have kind of know how to control, their themselves more than these people. Because once you give them that land, just give them few years. And mind you, they have the land already. They will bear children, and from there, anybody that want to contest as a governor, the person will come from that place to contest the governor of the state. Before, and who announced the results? Remember who controlled the INEC is them. So before you know it, governor of Enugu State or Ebonyi will be Alhaji something out from what you used to. Everything will go to them, and by so doing, you are finished. If you go to court, they will tell you that Nigerian is one. What are you trying to segregate? That these people have been living there for centuries. Now, that the Constitution of Nigeria did not say you should not allow them to contest. Your local government chairman or anything, politics will go straight to them. Remember how they came there in the name they want to control or raise their cow or whatever they call that, and you give them land, thinking that you're a nationalist. You want to make sure that everything works perfectly. Then you have sold yourself without knowing. You have sold yourself without knowing. That's why people that have the mind without thinking twice to destroy farmland like this, they will deal with you. He said, who could be filming this? I believe maybe maybe one of them, or the owner of the farmland, out of fear, maybe the person may be somewhere doing the video without challenging them, because if you challenge them, your blood will be spilled on that land immediately. This, you can see this place is very bush now. So you cannot, before you talk, knowing what you know already, that people have made an attempt to call their attention when they are destroying their family like this, and calling the attention will not provoke them, because they are very, very easy to get angry. Very, very easy to get angry. So before you know it, they'll buy the person. So as a smart person, what you need to do, since you don't have what it takes to challenge them, you have to go far away to film them, to prove, to have the kind of proof of what they're doing in your presence, just like somebody that is watching maybe armed robber or something like that, forcing themselves on their mother, on their children, on their daughter, or on their sister. You have nothing to do. You want to do something, but you don't have what it takes to do anything. You understand what I mean? So that is what is playing out here, because they know what they're doing. That is just a fact. They know what they're doing. Just like, and similar thing, the Nigerian army, what they're doing now and what Fulani people are known for is making sure they create fear in you. They will do something that you will not like to do. Anybody that see what they have done to you will not like to do that thing that made them to do that to you anymore. Unless if you are kind of your mental toughness is a top gear. That's the only time you can say, okay, I will not give up. But ordinarily, what makes you think that when Nigerian army touches somebody, they don't look back? They're doing it for people that are watching, to have fear of them, so that only that their name is being mentioned, you start peeing your clothes, because you have seen how they deal with other people, and that is the message they're passing to you. Some of you that are living abroad, you can confirm this, that country soldiers or military people in your country where you live, they don't torture people publicly like what we are witnessing in Nigeria, even to wear something that has to do with army color is a problem. It is a very big problem. And why is it so? Out of intimidation. They just want you to be intimidated, so that their clothes is for special people, as if they are not human beings. But when issue rise, when a problem comes, when they have any challenges, they will start looking for countries that will help them. Those countries that have soldiers that relate with civilians, they will be calling them to help them. But when it comes to torture civilians, leave it for Nigerian army. Then that's what Fulani are doing. They want to use their movement of cow, to prove to you that they own the country. And they have succeeded in doing that, because nobody, even if they destroy your farmland, local government or state government cannot do anything. You see how our governors in Southeast are kind of panicking. No matter what they do in their state, they will not tell you the Fulani Herdsmen. They will say hoodlums. They will say criminality. They don't want to mention the name of the people. It's not that they don't know. They know, but fear. And you see how people will still turn around and tell you that when you have problem, let's go with the political solution. How can you solve things politically when you are a slave? How can you solve it? How can you be man enough to solve problem when you are actually a slave in Nigerian politics? You don't have anything what it takes to defend yourself. Nothing whatsoever. Anyway, let's move to another thing. I am trying to know why this is hanging very, very. Okay. Now, these DOS people are not sleeping. Just pay attention to this. Is it clear now or not, as Ekperima keeps parading his DSS-funded army group? It will seem there is insecurity in Biafra land. This is the tactics Ekperima is using to destabilize our region. I will make more exposition on this tomorrow. Join me. Ochawana view, Ochawana traffic. Now, why making this nonsense post? He attached this thing. IPOB burning soldiers major setback to resolve insecurity in Southeast. Uzodema. So what this guy is saying here and what he said and what Uzodema said here, what is the difference? To tell you that they are working hand in hand with Hope Uzodema. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. After criticizing PM, tagging him, calling that he's a, you tell me insecurity that this guy is talking, you can see it here, insecurity. The same insecurity that made it a job for to start having security meeting with the governors. Why Kanu is still here? And by having that security meeting is what led to Kanu's kidnapping today. Because on attempt to solve insecurity in Southeast, they will focus on how to kidnap somebody and person that think that is their problem. Now, Hope Uzodema is complaining of burning soldiers, and is a major setback to solve insecurity in the Southeast. Now, who created insecurity in Southeast in the first place? And why insecurity? These people, look at this one, that is a citizen observer. These are people that when they talk, you will know that they actually they don't mean anything good for our people. You understand? They don't mean anything good for our people. Anyway, let's move to this. They are talking about insecurity in the Southeast, right? Now hear this one. ISWAP ordered residents to leave Boronu communities or face being pied. Look at it. Or being pied. Okay, ISWAP. This is one of the terrorist group. They have these branches. One Boko Haram, another one Bandit, another one is ISWAP, another one. So many of them. I think they have almost 7 with one agenda. So that when you prescribe this one, they move the name, they move that the activities to the other one. When you move the activities to the other one, and the government is clapping for them because they are all their boys. That's what they are, the one that formed them. You understand? They are the one that formed them. Okay, sorry, I have to flip the camera because why I flip it, because we may jam very colorful image. You know what I mean by that? So I don't want it, because once it appears in the video, it becomes an issue. The Hello Kai report from London. Okay, you're watching from London. I am joining late. Hope I have not missed much. You have not. Have not, my brother. You have not. And Magic Best says, "Good morning, brother. Thanks for the good job. Keep it up." Thank you. Thank you for your time as well. Thank you for your support. And Machief Media is here. Hi, Kai. You are doing a good job. Watching you from Austria. Nice to hear that. How are you today? Armstrong, you are not. What happened to your spanner? Armstrong, are you using a different account? Because I noticed that you are commenting without your spanner. I think this is a different account from the one we used to know you. Anyway, if there's any issue, please let me know, because I don't know. Seeing you without spanner, I don't know if what happened on that broadcast where the home messages that your comment was deleted which I told us that I don't know what happened to that broadcast. I don't know, to be honest with you. So if that is what happened to you, let me know so we can work on that. Okay, there's a video that I want to bring for us to see. Then I want us to watch that video. Just give me a moment. I'm trying to bring it, but it's in a different format. I'm going to bring it. It's about a man who claimed that he's an Igbo man in Nsukka. Okay, and he he said that he's a Muslim, and his vision is to make sure that he's not happy that Muslims have a very low minimum number of. I don't even know if you have. I don't believe, to be honest with you. Some people do, but I don't believe that we have Muslim Igbo. I don't believe that, because any of them, they are just business people. They are just business people. But let me see. The man said that he wants to work on making sure that Igbo's Muslims, Igbo Muslim, increasing their population. They have just very little number of them, and he said he's an Igbo man. So his work now is to preach to Igbos in the is he reading Quran or whatever they call it in Igbo language. Now let's see. Let's hear him. That's something now. Just a moment.
I'm thanking God by the open the many people's eye in Islam, especially Igbos in this mosque, like the southeast. We are trying to make sure that population in Islam in Nigeria today. Well, I'm really Igbo man, and I'm the chief imam.
Oh my goodness.
Central Mosque. I'm thanking God by the open the many people's eye in Islam, especially Igbos in this mosque, like the southeast. We are trying to make sure that the southeast understand Islam, because I saw that the Igbo people, they are like.
Armstrong, don't mind the system. I don't know why. I've given it back to you.
So that's why we are trying, as Igbo man, is our language. We want to, explain the citizen, Nigerian Islam, in Igbo and Suka, and the Igbo man. So, Alhamdulillah.
Please, does this man look like an Igbo man? Let me just take it back. Does he look like an Igbo man?
Well, I'm really Igbo man, and I'm the chief imam in Suka Central Mosque.
Just hold on. Let me see if I can. I don't know why they.
I'm thanking God by the open the many people's eye in Islam, especially Igbos in this mosque, like the southeast. We are trying to make sure that the southeast understand Islam, because I saw that the Igbo people, they are lacking population in Islam in Nigeria today. So that's why we are trying, as Igbo men, is our language. We want to, explain the citizen, Nigerian Islam in Igbo and Suka, and Igbo man. So,
oh my goodness. Even I told them what you those you call Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, whatever they call. Oh my goodness.
They are lacking population in Islam in Nigeria today. Well, I'm really, if they are lacking.
Well, I am really Igbo. Okay, I think by this, hello from America, Big Mike, I see you. Big Mike, I see you. Yes, Armstrong, I don't know what happened. We showed them the way out after December 2nd. That's it. Magic Best Channel said they are fighting a lost battle, but because they have dipped their hands into the mess and they can't get it out again. It is up to them. Nobody forced them to commit. Anyway, let's see if the video will respect it because I have been struggling to expand to make it look big. You understand? Let's see.
They are lacking population in Islam in Nigeria today. They are lacking population in Islam in Nigeria today. Well, I'm really Igbo man, and I'm the chief imam of Soka Central Mosque. I'm thanking God by the open many people's eye in Islam, especially Igbos in this mosque, like the southeast. We are trying to make sure that the southeast understand Islam, because I saw that Igbo people, they are lacking population in Islam in Nigeria today. So that's why we are trying as Igbo men, in our language, we want to explain Nigerian Islam in Igbo and I'm an Igbo man, so Alhamdulillah.
So this man, I find it funny. I find it funny that his own agenda, among all the problems that people are facing, his own concern is that people would lack population in Islam. If not, boy. Oh my goodness. Boy. I don't know why they. Anyway, we are not supposed to play any sound on this video, but that's the one thing that the people that own the platform hate so much. Once they hear any sound, it becomes an issue. So YouTube is not intentional. I just want to close a page, and suddenly the voice started playing, the music started playing. Anyway, let's see, and we are going straight to what Iwuanyanwu said. Then after that, we cannot call it off. We cannot call it a day because we are not going. Like I've said, I don't want this video to be too long, but we still have other things that I wanted to share, but because of time, this is late hour because I came very late, to be honest with you. Normally, I would have finished the program by now. But let's see. Listen to Iwuanyanwu.
Process can last the next 5 years. We don't want people to talk about going through the court process. Court process can last the next 5 years. That means our son will be in prison for 5 years or so. I think this is a political matter, and I want the president to use political power to get it released. We are not in support. He has to have a group called IPOB,
This is supposed Ohaneze leader, that he's the one that's supposed to even have a address Igbo people every 30th of May. Ohaneze was supposed to have a very strong activities to honor those that died during the Nigerian Civil War. But see, the man is here complaining. Why are you even having sit at home? As if that sit at home is a personal issue. So you don't even value the sacrifice people have made, giving their life. Even if you are too young to know what happened, I believe you are just like our father, your age. Yet, you are pretend that you don't even know what 30th of May stands for. You don't know why people call for that sit at home. And you are Ohaneze president. What is actually the job of Ohaneze? What is their job? I mean, what do we benefit from that organization? Are they just like a spy among us? Because I cannot pick one thing and say, okay, this is what Ohaneze is doing. Like this is what we know Ohaneze for. Is it Ohaneze to sell their people out? I don't understand. What is the job of Ohaneze? Someone should tell me, please. What is the work of Ohaneze? Because this man, instead of you to even, you're supposed to address the world, because you are the president of Ohaneze, over what happened during the Nigerian Civil War. You're supposed to deliver the lecture. I don't want to say the lecture. You're supposed to deliver the lecture to tell people, just like some have done. We saw what PM did, the State of the Nation. We saw what he did. That is what we expect from Ohaneze as well. But here, he's here busy counting people that support and people that don't support, counting the gain and the loss, as if everything is business to you. Because you don't care, you don't respect the debt. You don't care about what happened to people.
Telling people not to go to work on Monday. There is no one today. People should not go to school. Even I hear that soldiers have been killed. The truth about it, I discussed with Nnamudi. He is very sad and very bitter about it. And Igbos are not happy. And he has said it.
Every Ewunokoko. From Nnamudi. Everybody is hearing from us Nnamudi. Monday and Amazon Canada Mahode, Monday and Yama. Everybody. Now, from you see people who just wake up. Mazakano sometime last year, that's what he said now. That he said this, he said that. Even today, that he have already talked to Mazakan before making this video. These are people that you cannot hold them by their words, because they will definitely disappoint you. They will disappoint you. Anyway, let's complete it because we need to end this video.
Nnamdi Kanu sometime last year said it, that he is not part of these people who are forcing Igbos to sit at home.
He said it today.
He said it to me again.
Today.
Yes, he said it to me. That is not part of it. He said it to me, and he said it to me today, that he is not part of this question of people going to stop people from taking exam. Igbos value education. Two things that have made Igbos develop. One is education, the other one is business enterprise. We don't joke with these two things. There is hardly any Igbo family that joke with education. If anybody come and tell an Igbo person, I heard today that do mathematics, and the Igbos are being stopped. I even hear that some military people are getting this are criminal activity, very criminal. Nnamdi Kanu doesn't support any of this. And that is why you will see that Igbos are concerned about it. If you support all this, Igbos are not going to be concerned. I'm not going to support it. Because Igbos are not going to support somebody who.
Did you hear that? So he went there to ask Mazi Nnamdi, and if I thought he did, are you in support of what is going on? Just to hear if Mazi Nnamdi will tell him, yes, I support it, so that they will not say, okay, die there. This is a proof that they are the one that sold him. They are the one. Anyway, I don't want to stretch this video anymore because I have many things I would have tell you my mind, but we are going to maybe we are going to bring it back again on our program tomorrow. Okay, so probably we can discuss more about it. But what this man said here is just like what people thought about him. He's not. He can't be trusted. He can't trust him at all. Everything they do is their own personal interest. Thank you guys for your time. Please like the video, okay, and share it to any group of your choice. Kai, I hear you. Well done. John, my babe, my sister, I hear you too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are about to end the program and we are here. Okay, guys. Massive Media. Massive Media is one of the US member residing in Venezuela. Is it Venezuela you want to put? I have forgotten his name now. Was the one that sent this man to visit our leader via his telephone conversation. Okay. If you want to visit Nnamdi Kanu, that is their business. But one thing about Oyendu is that he knows the activities of all these politicians. He knows they are there. He have their history. Do you understand? He have their history. And Mazi Nnamdi is not part of anything going on. So he's right to condemn any criminal activities in Farmland because he is not part of anything whatsoever. So whoever that is doing it, you are doing it on your own. But the issue here is this. Why are these people paying more attention to who is doing what are they doing instead of solving the problem that bring agitation in the first place? They don't want to do that. Anyway, take care of yourself and good night, all of you. Bye-bye for now. Thank you. Hold on. Somebody said useless to the core. Why must Mazi Nnamdi be in DSS dungeon and he's telling him what he supports and what he's not exactly my dear, exactly. You guys, that's why I love Biafrans. Many of us, our brain and our mind is very, very active and open to understand. The intention is not good. Anybody that want to ask Matakan, like the other day we saw how DS and one of the lawyers were kind of pushing Mazi Nnamdi to condemn PM. These are traps. It goes to show that they are the one that puts him there, and the best thing they're looking for now is a way to use. Since the federal government is looking for something to nail him, let us give them something. You understand? Man is not God now. God is not man. So, thank you, guys. Bye bye for now.